Welcome to Trashmagination, a podcast about reimagining trash. I'm Carla Brown. Today we'll talk about the creative reuse of eggshells and egg cartons. My family puts our eggshells in the compost, and we give our egg cartons to a local farmer who reuses them. We also sometimes rip up our egg cartons and throw them in the composter if it's getting too wet in there. So if you want to keep it simple, those are great options. But today I'm going to explore a bunch of other ways to creatively reuse eggshells and cartons. So let's start with ideas unrelated to making art. So in the kitchen, you can grind up eggshells to scrub pots. You can use eggshells to clean a glass bottle if you can't reach inside. You just crunch up the eggshells, not too small, not like sand, but sort of crunchy. Then add some soapy water and swirl it around to scour the inside of the bottle. And you can also do this with your blender to get up inside all the little bits where the choppy part is. You can make sidewalk chalk from ground up eggshells mixed with flour. You just mix it into a thick clay, roll it into log shapes, and then wrap it in a towel or dry it in a silicone mold. You can grow baby plants in eggshells. You can also put crunched up eggshells in your garden to discourage slugs and snails from eating your plants. So now let's talk about ways people make art and craft from eggshells. Of course, it's popular in so many cultures. When I was growing up, we painted eggshells using techniques inspired by Ukrainian culture, which involved wax and dye. The most difficult part for me to remember when I was a kid was that the places where I would put the wax would not take the dye. Egg painting is part of Persian culture during Nowruz. Each family member paints an egg and puts it in a bowl. And then in Mexico during Carnival, people decorate eggshells and fill them with confetti, and those are called cascarones. In Hungary, there is a type of egg decorating called egg shoeing, which involves painting tiny horseshoes on eggs. And in Australia, there is a type of egg decorating called kalti party, which is done on emu eggs. Another way to creatively reuse eggshells in art is to glue them to the surfaces of paintings and containers. I just returned from my 30-year college reunion, and there was a fundraising auction as part of that event. And one of the items in the auction was a painting by Miriam, which was a vase of tulips that she had painted, and then the vase was a mosaic made from quail eggshells. Eggshells can take a very boring container, like a plastic maple syrup bottle, and make them look fancy. Some people creatively reuse eggshells by painting them and hanging them in a mobile. You can paint only the outside or the inside of the eggs, and you can also add glitter. I will link to an inspiring example that was featured in Sweet Paul magazine. They also have another craft with eggshells where they transform them into geodes by growing crystals inside them using a basic science experiment. Now I'll share stories about artists who creatively reuse eggshells. So I've talked about Ruby Silvius in the episode about the creative reuse of tea bags. She also paints the insides of eggshells with beautiful designs and images. You can see examples on her Instagram feed, and she also has a book coming out this year called Reclaimed Canvas: Reimagining the Familiar. Elisa Sheehan paints the inside of eggshells with abstract paintings and arranges them in shadow box frames. She uses a lot of gold paint in her work, which is meant to evoke the practice of kintsugi, or the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, which I talked about in my episode on creative reuse of dishes. The image of the egg is sometimes associated with the role of women. Carol P. Kunstad's work involves deconstructing books to make art, which was the topic of my previous Trashmagination podcast episode. In addition to books, Carol also works with eggshells. She lined the inside of a cracked open ostrich egg with cutout words from a book published in 1855 called Women in the 19th Century and Kindred Papers Related to the Sphere, Condition, and Duties of Women by Margaret Fuller, which was considered the first major feminist work in the United States. So next I'm going to talk about the creative reuse of egg cartons. I am often asked how I store the materials that I use for creative reuse. The key to being a creative reuse artist is to specialize in a type of material that you find inspiring. So for example, I specialize in colorful plastic bags, plastic milk jugs, wool blankets and clothing, and juice pouches. There are many artists who specialize in egg cartons. Egg cartons come in cardboard or polystyrene. The cardboard type are easier to use in most crafts, but it's a fantastic way to creatively reuse the polystyrene type since those usually cannot be recycled in most places. Egg cartons are a fantastic craft material. They can be cut into little cup shapes and formed into flowers, particularly roses. 2 cups can be connected to make a sphere. The lids of egg cartons are long rectangles that are sturdy but easy to cut. The cardboard egg cartons take paint well. They can be shaped into masks and crowns for costumes. Egg cartons can be a great base for papier-mâché or papier-mâché, depending how you say it. There are so many wonderful crafts that you can make from egg cartons. I encourage you to visit my Trashmagination Pinterest board for more ideas than I can mention here. So a popular egg carton creative reuse craft is to make a flower wreath. People paint these in pastels for spring, orange and black for Halloween, or many colors all year round. My favorite wreath is one of poppies that you could make for Remembrance Day or Armistice Day. Another popular egg carton craft is to paint egg cups and hang them down from strings so they look like a curtain of flowers. And some people also put holiday string lights in each cup. Egg cartons are fantastic for making little figures of animals and people. Tracy Radford of Jumbletree designed a lizard with a segmented body from egg cartons that has a lot of character. Michelle Pacey from the blog Michelle Made Me designed nativity and fairy tale scenes with egg carton characters. Mary Alice Baldwin from Brainy Beginnings designed a totem pole stacked with colorful animals. She also designed a fish that moves in the breeze and rings that you can wear on your finger. The crafts on the Bulgarian craft blog Krokatak tend to be more imaginative, challenging, and beautiful than most crafts from recycled materials. They offer a great activity to make self-portraits with egg cartons, and they also show you how you can color eggshells with onion skins. One of the most popular episodes of Trashmagination was about dollhouse furniture from recycled materials, and many of these designs incorporated egg cartons. For inspiration, I recommend a blog by a mom hosting a birthday party where they decorated egg carton doll furniture. To prepare for the party, this mom made all the doll furniture. She made chairs, beds, toilets, kitchen sinks, couches, lamps, and more. She made one set for each guest at the party, and then the guests painted them at the party. Another fun way to creatively reuse egg cartons is to dress up as an ear of corn for Halloween. You paint egg cartons yellow and you attach them to your belly. Then you can wear green clothing like a green hoodie and some green pants. And then you can add some straw on your head to be the corn silk. Next, I'll talk about artists who specialize in making work from recycled egg cartons. So you know I am a huge fan of trash fashion, and the best trash fashion show in the world, in my opinion, takes place each year in Ireland, and it's called Junk Couture. In 2018, there was an incredible dress made from 3,500 egg cartons. For the skirt, the students connected egg carton cups with cotton thread. And for the headpiece, the egg cartons were shaped into roses. And they also painted the egg cartons in beautiful gradients of pink. This dress won the Bank of Ireland Glamour Prize, which is pretty impressive for a dress made from egg cartons. The artists were Ellen Kearney and Katie Shortall. The students who made that dress said they were inspired by our next egg carton artist, Enno de Kroon from Holland. He invented a painting style that he calls egg cubism. He paints objects and portraits on cardboard egg trays, like the type that might hold something like 3 dozen eggs, and it's shaped like a square. It makes his paintings seem very three-dimensional. Sometimes he layers one egg tray on top of the other to add depth to the painting, or he cuts shapes out of the trays to add shadow and layers. Most paintings are flat, but Enno's paintings jump out at you. When you move around his paintings, they change as you change your perspective. Egg cartons can be a great way for art teachers to explore the subject of pointillism or also the concept of pixels. If you paint each cup a separate color, you get that dimensionality while also learning how dots of color can form a total image. Moving from paint to sculpture, Sana Hashimi Nassel mashes cardboard egg cartons into a clay and then sculpts with it. She lives in Portugal. She collects egg cartons from restaurants. She used to work with clay, but she notes that she prefers working with egg cartons because they don't have to be fired and the final product is lightweight and not fragile. In terms of furniture made from egg cartons, Ina Alessina fit egg cartons one inside the other and then rolled them into a big circle to make a bench. She dyed the egg cartons various colors to give the furniture a pattern. Ina now teaches design not far from me in Maryland, and she co-wrote the book Exploring Materials, Creative Designs for Everyday Objects, which sounds like my kind of book. I want to address one more topic related to egg cartons, and that is the question of whether egg cartons can be recycled into soundproofing. As someone who plays the drums, I was very curious to find out. The reason why you might think that they could help with soundproofing is because they have a similar shape as some soundproof acoustic panels. The egg carton shape can reduce echo, but many things do that, such as bookshelves or wall hangings. The difference between cardboard egg cartons and the acoustic panels is what is inside those shapes, which is a specific type of soundproofing foam. Thank you for listening. Please let me know about ways that you creatively reuse eggshells or egg cartons by contacting me at trashmagination@gmail.com. Also, here's a little request. Trashmagination has not had a new review on Apple Podcasts since November 2018. It would mean so much if you would leave a review. I know you are listening because I see the downloads. So please share what you think with potential listeners. Until next time, may you see eggshells and cartons as a source of art in your life.